Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Neon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
It's time for another dose of Disney. It's not dismal Disney. We're going to talk about Disney getting a saving throw. Pixar is getting a saving throw. They needed it because things were not looking too good for them. It seemed like they were being threatened by somebody at Disney to perform, and thankfully for them, Inside Out 2 did perform very well this weekend. Now, we have some theories as to why it performed well, and a lot of it has to do with the fact that they're going back to formula.
Right. Imagine that. You give people what they want, and they're going to respond and say, yes, we want more of this, please.
Yeah, so maybe I'm being overly optimistic, but maybe if people support the things that Disney does right, they'll do more of that. I don't know. I mean, that's wishful thinking. A lot of people are like, no, they're just going to take the money and they're going to plow it into something stupid. But
it's only Marvel and Star Wars can get on board and start fixing some of their shit. We'll be going great.
Yeah. So let's talk about this. Before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. Guys, you get woohoo if you do.
Woohoo!
So where to start on this? I think we'll start with the Rotten Tomatoes score on Inside Out 2, 91% certified fresh. Audience score is 96%. I've actually had people write me via DM, via email, and tell me that the movie was good.
Which is good, because I'll go see it then, because I kind of want to see it. I don't even go see it right away, because I don't want to waste my time and money on something that's going to be dog shit.
Yeah, I think a lot of people anymore, they don't go opening weekend to movies, or they look at the movie and they're like, hey, is this one we can just wait for streaming? And Inside Out 2, I think, wound up being one that people actually wanted to go see. Now, it was also Father's Day weekend, and I kept waiting for the other shoe to drop. I'm like, okay, it's Father's Day weekend. It's a Pixar movie. Is this the part where Riley comes out as trans to her dad, and her dad flips out, or what are we going to do here? And it's like, oh, no, actually, Riley has a crush on a male video game character, and everybody said the movie is actually pretty even keel. It's family friendly. It's Pixar from 10, 15 years ago.
But that's what people wanted.
That's all it had to be.
That's just it. It's not that hard to get it right. You just got to go back to being Pixar and Disney being Disney. It's not that hard. Now get Star Wars back to Star Wars, and we're doing good. I don't know if that's even possible at this point.
I think honestly, at this point, Star Wars is too far gone. Now, I thought that before, and then I kind of reluctantly came back with The Mandalorian. A lot of people did. And then there was some false hope. There were YouTubers out there saying that they were going to retcon the sequels out, and all they did was like double, triple down on all the sequel era stuff. But all they have to do to win people back is just give the audiences what they want. And I think they might start doing that because if for no other reason, they're running out of money, which is very clear if you watch the other video talking about Epcot and some of the budget cuts to Epcot. They're running out of money, and they've had multiple animated disaster after disaster, and they have to just go back to basics. But it does take a while to course correct a ship the size of Disney. It takes years for these movies to get made. So it's not like you can just snap your fingers and be like, okay, guys, let's just like fix Star Wars, fix Marvel, fix whatever. It's going to take them years to do it. But I think in this case, I think they should be rewarded when they actually get it right. You went to go see Haunted Mansion twice.
I did, because it was actually good.
It was actually good. Yeah.
I mean, if something's good, I'm going to say so. If something sucks, I'm going to say so. In this case, I have not seen Inside Out 2, but I've been hearing is I've only been hearing good things.
I have people that have come to me over the weekend, and they asked if we were going to go see it. And I said, well, I was kind of on the fence about it, but they said, and these are people that I know don't care for modern day Disney, and they said this feels like a movie that would have been made 10 or 15 years ago. So they're kind of, sort of, maybe starting to get it. But this is coming from the AP. An emotional win for theaters, Hollywood. Inside Out 2 scores a massive $155 million opening.
And for animation, that's pretty good.
For animation, it's very good. They said it's the second highest opening weekend in Pixar's 29 years of making movies. The first highest was The Incredibles 2. It's also the biggest of 2024 and since Barbie. That doesn't take much, but they said an estimated 140 million. Wait, with an estimated 140 million from international showings.
It's 295 million total.
Okay. Inside Out 2 has staggering and record-breaking 295 million global start. So this is like So we're talking that's just domestic? Holy shit.
Yeah, that was just domestic.
Oh, yeah, U.S. and Canada.
Yeah,
Holy
no,
shit.
yes, I could have told you that because I wrote this article yesterday. I wrote an article like this yesterday. It's 295 million globally.
So they were worried they wouldn't even hit 100. They were worried they weren't even going to hit 85, and they did 155 million.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Okay, so Tony Chambers, who heads theatrical for Disney, was confident that the film would do extremely well, but even he was surprised at how much it exceeded already high expectations.
Because people want a good movie, and there hasn't been one in a while.
That is true.
And they want good family movies, and yeah, there have been some, but like, they want Pixar, but they want Pixar to be Pixar.
That's it. So I'm hoping. Had
Buzz Lightyear been an actual Buzz Lightyear movie, and
Yes.
Lightyear been that, it would have done really well.
Yeah, but it wasn't Buzz Lightyear. All
No.
you had to do was make an animated version of Buzz Lightyear of Star Command.
None of this is very hard, honestly. It really isn't hard.
So, Tony Chambers from Disney said, people go to the theater for great movies. The reviews, the word of mouth just helped build the momentum. It's becoming a bit of a phenomenon.
Well, I wouldn't go that far, but yeah.
Importantly, Inside Out 2 audiences spanned ages and demographics. Post-COVID, he said, breakout successes depend on attracting multicultural audiences.
Well, listen, actually, they said that it was a lot of people from South America was a huge audience, and a lot of Hispanic people were a big part of the audience. They said, I think 30% was part of the audience. They said, so they are it's becoming a multicultural success.
Well, and that's always been the case, though. The thing is, you used to be able to do it. Like, you look at Coco and you look at, other movies that Moana.
Coco was so good.
And I think Moana 2, unless it's a complete piece of dog shit, I think it's probably going to do pretty good.
Probably.
I mean, it's probably going to do pretty good. I know people don't want to hear that. They're like, well, you're the Disney haters. You want everything. It's like, no.
That's the state. If Disney's doing something right, we're not going to say it's shit. That's the state. Like, we'll tell you if something sucks, and we'll be honest about something. But with that honesty comes the fact that if something's done right, you say this is done right.
Yeah, I would love for Disney to go back to where they were 10 or 15 years ago. Mm-hmm. Across the board with the parks and everything, because we did love that company. We worked around them for a while. It was a huge part of our lives, and I would love to see them go back to that. I really would. They definitely have lost their way.
I like to think we're better people, but here we are.
Yeah. So anyway, they said the success is significant for Pixar, marking a much needed return to form. There we go. Return to form.
Yeah, that's key.
For a studio that had a string of underwhelming launches, including Elemental and Lightyear. And they said the theaters needed it because they've been running at a 26% deficit
I expect
this year.
it to be worse.
Disney was already having a good summer with Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. Which I guess, but then they think that Deadpool and Wolverine is going to do very, very well.
Yeah, I think Deadpool and Wolverine is going to do really well too, and I guess China is going to run it too. And it's not going to be like, okay, the first Deadpool movie they ran over there, the second Deadpool movie they didn't. They waited for the Once Upon a Deadpool PG version, and now this one they'll probably make edits to it. They haven't said that, but they'll probably have to. But they are going to run it in China at the same release date as it is in the United States.
Yeah. And that's big because they really, and Disney, honestly, by going all in on the identity politics, they actually chased off China too.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and other countries too, Middle Eastern countries.
Right. So they need to just go back to basics. And, I don't know. This might be a painful lesson for them that they almost got. They got into it with Nelson Peltz, and they got into it with a lot of conservative media outlets, and they got into it with DeSantis, and they almost lost everything. I mean, they might actually pull it out. They might have learned. I don't know. I mean, I think that we're gonna the thing about Disney is it's a many-headed hydra. So
yeah.
like the divisions don't all see eye to eye in terms of who does what, right? So like Lucasfilm is not Pixar, and Pixar is not Disney Television, and you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, I was going to say real quick too. I want to point out though, Inside Out 2 didn't have any competition really this weekend either. Like there was no
Garfield.
other new, but it wasn't new. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? There was no other new movie that released at the same time, so that might have also given it a little bit of help. Like you said, Father's Day weekend, they didn't have anything else, other than that, things that came out. I mean, by saying that, I mean that released at the same time as Inside Out 2. They had ones that were popular from a week or two ago, but nothing that came out the same week. And now usually your first week is your weekend is when you're going to do your big push.
Yeah. Despicable Me 4 comes out. That's probably going to be pretty big. Gru did very, very well. Actually, DreamWorks and Illumination were shaming Disney for years. Like every one of their releases, except for Ruby, Gilman. Yeah,
yeah.
that was, I almost said Ruby Gilmore. I was thinking Gilmore Girls, but yeah, that one like came and went.
Well,
into
I was
the character.
thinking Ruby Gloom, which is
Ruby
something
Gloom. Yeah. But yeah, so I mean, look, if they can pull it out of a tailspin and they learn, that's great. That's what we wanted. I know some people just want to watch this company completely burn down, and I don't want that, but they do have to be better. Now, the potentially bad news for Disney Parks fans, I got to be that guy, is there have been rumors for years that they were eyeing Journey to Imagination to have it refurbed as Inside Out.
God, they better not.
But I think this is definitely going to incentivize them to do that.
I hope they don't.
I mean, I think they'll keep Figment because he's merchandisable, but like, I can completely see them being like, hey, Inside Out 2 made a bunch of money. Let's just get rid of Journey to Imagination.
They'll just use Figment as the imagination, you know.
The new Bing Bong.
Yeah, basically he's just everybody has a Figment. It's their imagination. You know, and that's what I hope they don't.
Riley's 16, she's smoking pot, and that's where Figment came from.
Yeah, he's like, it's my time to shine.
It's my time.
No, I really hope they don't, but you know what? That rumor has been going on for a bit now, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah, and it'll be a budget cut experience, and the animatronics will break down.
It already is a budget cut experience.
It already is.
It's sad. That might actually be an improvement.
It might actually be.
I just wish they'd bring Dreamfinder and Figment back and make it awesome like it used to be. But, you know,
put them in the theater next door. That's what you do. You put them in the theater next door, and you do something fun there. But yeah, so there you go, guys. I mean, I'm not gonna say that it failed. It didn't fail. It did very, very well. Disney stock is actually starting to go up a little bit today. People might be like, well, maybe there's a chance. You know, I'm very naive sometimes, and I'm sure that they'll drop the ball.
No, people will be like, okay, and then they'll just do something else stupid.
Watch The Mandalorian. Look at The Mandalorian.
I was say they'll do something else with The Acolyte next week, you know.
Yeah, but that's, again, we're talking about different divisions within Disney. So that's like, people are like, oh, they canceled Tim Allen. Well, yes and no. They seemingly canceled him from Pixar, but he's also, he got a Santa Claus show and he's getting another Home Improvement show. So he's not completely canceled. So and again, it just depends on the division at Disney and if they want to work with people or whatever. And
well, I think he's coming back for Toy Story 5, so apparently not.
Yeah, so apparently he's not canceled. So I don't know, guys. Now, what's going to come out during the Gina Carano lawsuit? That's going to be interesting.
Oh, yeah, but that's more Lucasfilm. But yeah,
it's more of a Lucasfilm thing. So there we go, guys. Pixar got a saving throw. I don't know. I'd like to see them go back to what they were. We're going to wrap it up.
Yep.
Please subscribe. We'll talk later.
Bye.